what we have here is a 52-year-old or however old Shannon is dealing with a 19-year-old allegedly when they first started talking. By now, everybody has talked about ad nauseum about Shannon Sharpe. Now, where the correlation comes in at is because what we've also learned about his situation, right? I believe he has a lawsuit of $50 million. The young lady who turns out, I'm not going to say her name, but she was Jane Doe in the case, right? I'm not saying we can't say it. I just don't remember it right now or even really care to say it. But nonetheless, the young lady was like, I guess, 19 when they first met. She was on OnlyFans. They ensued into a relationship. Apparently, this lawsuit has kind of been in play. There might have been offers before. She's being represented by Busby attorney Tony Busby, if I'm not mistaken, who was the same attorney, and we all know this by now, who had the last case against Jay-Z that was kicked out. But this young lady has released clips, of conversations. So has Shannon. They've gone back and forth trying this case in the court of public opinion, along with, accusations or sayings that he, offered $10 million at one point in time. There's a lot to unpack here. But again, that's where the correlation is for me. But I'll just open up before we get into it. So what are y'all thoughts? There's so many different angles, the age difference, the race play, black men on the brink of success, getting caught up. We can start wherever y'all want. And feel free. Let's get at it. Let's get into it.
Shannon Sharpe has had enough chances in the media recently. He's had enough chances and hiccups with women, with media, with it coming out. I mean, Cat Williams sat on his show and told him, leave them white girls alone. And even when he asked Cat Williams why, he said, it's not because I'm not attracted. He said, there's just a history of how they treat us, and I don't want to give them any money because I don't trust it. And then, what's her name? Monique got on the show and did the same thing. Stay away from them young girls, brother. Don't do that, brother. You're better than that. What does this Nick Nog do? He finds the youngest OnlyFans. He finds her a 19-year-old who looks like she's 18 or 19. And then he goes and tries to commence to have a relationship with somebody. When I look at those text messages, I'm like, this man has to be a fool. Give me your big black baby. All of the race play stuff just makes it just that much more worse and icky. And he gives me the ick. And when I think about it, it's like, Shannon, you should do better. You got way too much money to be, dwelling in the bottom feeder pool. Even if she has $5 million from OnlyFans, that man has been working for over 40 years for a career, and he should know better and do better and try to date somebody in his own damn tax bracket if he could. At least your age range, brother. Damn.
I mean, this kind of goes to what I always say too. You know what? Money don't unlame you. You can be a lame nigga. You just got to lame with a bunch of fucking money. I mean, so what? I mean, he should know better. And I'm even gonna take about the. It's not so much the age thing. I mean, it's not my thing, but I don't even know where I hang out at where 19-year-old OnlyFans models be at. If I had to, I couldn't fucking do it. So you were already in the wrong place, right? But if you like 19-year-olds, fine. But getting into a relationship, that is some sucker shit. Like my man said, you don't pay him to stay, you pay him to leave. You were in a whole relationship with a 19-year-old. You were probably cuffing with this little chick, spooning. Y'all probably showered together. It was just y'all were just doing bae shit. Is way too fucking much. Shannon Sharpe should fucking know better. And you guys always losing the bag behind some cheeks. We just went through this with Shannon Sharpe's guy losing the bag behind some box. I don't know. I'm disappointed. This shit, Shannon Sharpe shit, is why the aliens won't fucking visit us. That's how I fucking
Right.
That's why the aliens won't visit. Go ahead, that's
how I feel.
So I'm just gonna say this. I understand, Auntie. I understand. I personally feel like it's because we was calling you Auntie. I got it, because you was a little messy on your show. So I understand why you felt the need first to leak that little clip of you going grunting and stuff onto Instagram. I understand, because you want to show your powers. You was like, yo, this me. And so I understand that. So I ain't gonna call you Auntie no more. Uncle. I don't know. But anyways, I was trying to figure out how I can merge aunt and uncle together, but you saw it didn't work out that well. So I'm gonna go ahead and call you Unc, because at the end of the day, you Unc. So Unc, that's nasty. I don't care what color she was or is. That's nasty. She 19. Teen. And so you over there fucking your granddaughter, basically. And that's nasty, sir. But on the more serious note, because I understand folks will say, but she was legal. Yep, barely. I understand, but she was still legal. Okay, cool. I got you on that. So this one, I'm going to clean it up for you. I'm going to say this. I agree with Tia and Delva in this sense that, first of all, you got too much money to put yourself in this position. Second of all, I don't understand why we continue to see this where people literally ruining their careers, literally ruining their brand over some coochie. You know, like at least get coochie that got the same amount of things to lose as you got, you know? Like, I don't understand why in the hell you're willing to risk all of this. And then I realized, once again, going back to the fact that there was a lot of folks kind of saying you may be gay or in the closet. And so maybe you felt like you had to prove your prowess. You know what I'm saying? So that may be our fault for kind of shading you that way. And when I say our fault, I mean certain people in the Black community and maybe a little bit including me, you know, because I was calling you auntie with the messiness, but that was for the messiness, not for the dick play. With that being said, I will also say this.
Uncle, that's what you got to call him.
So, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to call you Unc. You know, I'm going to put some respect on your name. Well, on that uncle part. But anyways, so I understand in our community, especially with Black men, there's this big overwhelming need to flex, flash, and do all these other things to say, I am the man, ha, 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 and put your chest out. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You was wearing that purse, and ever since then, it ain't been right for you. So it's cool. It's cool. With let me stop. I'm throwing a little too much toxic out there. So
Oh, what? A little too much for you,
I'm
S&M?
doing a
No,
little too
commit.
much.
Commit.
I'm just gonna say this
Boo.
here.
Boo.
No, I want to be on the serious tip too. I'm just gonna say that we talk about, you know, some men love to talk about how there's high value men. They love to talk about how they're high value men. But I think high value isn't just the money and the success. I also think it's about the character. And I'm actually questioning his character at this point because there's too many things in these texts and in this stuff that came out that make me question who you are as a person. Now, this is your personal life, so I'm not trying to get too far involved in your personal life. So I don't appreciate the group chats that you put us into all those texts because I didn't need to know about your big back baby that she wanted to have or that you was going to choke her out because she was saying one thing too many times. You want to be choked. Yes, you do. And I'm like, I didn't need to hear all that. Matter of fact, I'm mad at myself for listening. You can't build an empire if you're entertaining chaos all the time. And that's what you was doing. You were entertaining chaos under the guise of getting cooch because it made you feel good about yourself. It gave you a warm and fuzzy. It was like wrapping you up in a hug. Well, now that rap came with a $50 million lawsuit. So enjoy your rap. And I hope that this works out for you in the way that you wanted to work out because you gave her that 10 mil, but she was like, hey, you offer me 10 mil, then I know for a fact I can at least get 25. And then her lawyer probably was like, no, you can borrow to get 50. So you enjoy that hug that you got, warm and fuzzy you got, and recognize that warm and fuzzy, it costs to pay, you know, or it's, what is it, pay to play?
Pay to play.
You knew that when you got that OnlyFans person. You knew that she was OnlyFans, so therefore you was paying to play. But, you know, protect your name, protect your legacy, and choose wisely for all these other men who have not found themselves in this situation yet. Because at the end of the day, the only thing you should have been concerned about was your family, your foundation, and your legacy. So, because that's where your real power lies versus flexing and flashing, saying, yeah, I got this young buck, this 19-year-old. So that's where I'm at.
I am so disappointed in the position that y'all put me in again. Right? I want to start off with a couple of disclaimers. By and large, I'm vanilla when it comes to like my personal life. I'm gonna start by saying that, right? Which is why it's even more funny to me that 2 out of 3 of my other guest hosts are saying some of the things that they're saying because I would think they'd have a little bit more empathy and understanding in terms of like judgment when it comes to how one expresses their sexual proclivities. So I'm gonna say that first. But these are not things that I experience. And I feel like we gotta say this up front, right? Because I can have the ability to understand where people are coming from. And I realized a lot, and I want to shout out Clubhouse for this, because when people say things like, I don't understand, what I realize is that they don't want to understand. They'll say they don't understand because I think it's just we're used to saying that. Because if you do then want to understand, it's not that hard to understand. Right? I think for whatever reason, judgment doesn't allow us to understand. So yes, we can berate the bad decisions in the course of them that he's made,